Yeah, we're live.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it says-
Meeting is
Ooh.
streaming on. Yeah. Meeting
Okay.
is now streaming live on
We've
YouTube.
done it.
Hi, world.
How many members of shit bands does it take to get on a live stream on YouTube? But we made it.
You made it. Well, we're on.
Okay. So hello guys.
Hi, Kyle.
It's been a while since I've seen you all in the flesh, in the face. How are we all doing?
In the face.
Well, mate, it's nice to be reunited with Mr. Arm Brewster,
I know. There he is down there for me.
the All-American
Hi.
boy.
Hi. Yes, I'm reporting in live from the United States of America right now. I'm the only person on the call with a true stake in the game today. As far as I know, you guys do the same thing for Soya's launches, and Dan has like a CCCP shirt that he wears for those or something. I don't know.
We like to spread ourselves thin around.
Yeah, you got a bunch of Sputnik memorabilia laying around. Very
Had
excited.
it all out of shot.
Yeah.
on the instant. It's reversible. Yeah.
Oh, guys.
So,
Okay. So
I just wanted to check.
Great band meeting.
yeah,
Yeah.
you guys. So I'm gonna bring in, just because I feel like we're missing quite a lot. I'm gonna share my screen with the with what's happening currently.
That's a good
So
suggestion.
make sure it's
Because
the
I
right
really-
screen.
Yeah, are
Mainly
we
'cause-
still a go? Are we still a go for launch right now?
I have a
No.
feeling no,
Yeah, the weather's
I've
looking bad.
but it seems like things.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh wow, yeah, that's great.
Hey, so if anyone wants to watch like the launch happen like at least 10 seconds later, then watch this stream. That's the key.
Well, the information I'm
Oh,
getting off screen
okay.
from Evan here is that we may be delayed, and I think it's like Dan Smith always says. The problem with the whole thing is that it's in Florida.
How did that tour of Florida go?
It was canceled because we manufactured a pandemic to get out of it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was effective, so congratulations.
a little more effective than we thought. Everything is canceled. Did you guys have to cancel anything, or you were pretty much off, right?
We were super lucky. Is the stream working for you guys?
Yeah, it's on. I can see it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not. It's just
time
a
was
stick,
frozen.
I think.
What'd you say?
Saturday there will be a launch.
They're gonna launch on Saturday, guys. So we're gonna have to stay on for a while.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
well, guys, I'm
Okay.
glad you're here because I've got a stand-up routine that I've been working on. So if you guys could just just stand there and be as quiet as possible whilst I stammer through my 30-minute stand-up routine.
Type
That'll be
5 days,
perfect.
mate. That's all it is.
Have you got 5 days worth of material? I hope so.
I can vamp. For a few days.
Bruce,
That's
who's
your
there?
cat. Your cat.
This is Milo.
Hey, Milo.
He hates this.
Yeah.
He's just not a fan of Zoom.
Yeah, he's very shy.
Oh, hey Milo.
My two cats died. I don't want to
Saturday,
do
guys. So Saturday. Were you guys all watching the preparations?
I got very excited when the arm got retracted.
Yeah, that was exciting. Did you see the astronauts say goodbye to their families? It must be so weird having to sort of just wade through a car window. Tesla did it, may I add.
Yeah,
They kind of made a point out of that, didn't they? They were like, they're riding in the Tesla all day. No, I didn't hear anyone call it a car once.
And when they interviewed Elon Musk as well, it was a real. How did it feel to have your car drive them to the? Yeah.
So crazy. This is like, I have such mixed feelings about this because, space travel, like in the 60s, it's this giant piece of propaganda, right? For the hearts and minds of the entire planet of like which system, like capitalism or socialism, is capable of putting a person on the moon. That's a really impressive feat, right? So the whole world watches a moon landing and they're like, wow, America did it. Capitalism did it. and now it's like extra capitalism where it's everything's got a SpaceX logo on it today. And I have to say, it feels better than I thought it would, but it's been interesting watching a lot of the prepackaged, really slickly produced SpaceX things run between like a lot of the more public access feeling commentary segments. It's a crazy marriage.
Yeah,
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also,
seeing-
gazing into the cockpit there as well. Like, I feel like the Wi-Fi connection is probably better than on the Apollos, amongst a few other mod cons in there.
Everything in the capsule is touchscreen too, which I'm like thinking about.
I'm still thinking, I've got a pair of gloves for the winter, and I can barely use my phone with them, even though they say they have the technology. So I'm just hoping that the guys that their gloves are a little bit more conductive than ours.
So
right, or
I just
think
wanna-
about dropping your phone.
I just want to be clear that now the arms retracted, these guys are in here till Saturday, right?
Yeah, that's it.
These guys are just hanging out.
Well,
This is them till Saturday. So the trip to the space station takes, was it 18, 19 hours?
Yeah.
How many toilet trips do you think?
I think you pee in your suit, right?
Woody, was that part of your quiz?
no, I was actually just gazing. So, because I know everyone is really into pub quizzes these days over Zoom. It's the done thing with all the cool kids. So I've actually assembled a very brief pub quiz, if anyone's game.
Oh, so game for that.
That
Please
sounds incredible.
Amazing.
Okay. I forgot about Armbruster, so as I often do. So I just have to pull up a few other questions when we can. All right. I'll go with as he's our esteemed guest, Mr. Armbruster. If you wanted to purchase an ISS of your very own, how many $1 billion would it cost? In fact, no. So I'll throw it out to everyone. To the nearest billion.
78.
Okay, William.
460. I think that's wildly over the top.
Kyle.
I don't know. It's just a smooth 20 bill.
20 bill. Daniel Smith.
50.
50. The closest is Mr. Armbruster with 78. The actual cost is 150 billion.
150 bill.
Yeah. 1
That's
point to Mr.
amazing.
Armbruster.
Armbruster's got so many mascots tonight. I'm so
And
impressed.
his teammate.
Yeah, right.
It's like I've been preparing to be asked for this all week,
Fair enough.
just in case.
That's one to Armbruster then.
I think a multimedia centre. It's very impressive.
To the nearest 0.1 of a million, how heavy in kgs is the Falcon 9 rocket?
Can we do pounds?
No.
To the nearest. Oh,
0.1 million.
all right. Okay.
Mr. Armbruster first.
It's between 5 kilograms and 5 billion kilograms, but I don't understand the value of a kilogram, so I'm going to go with pass.
Pass. Okay.
Solid.
Sorry to interrupt your quiz. I'm just interested in what will happen now. I know someone said it earlier, but
Well, so the main NASA Twitter feed is now just diverted to this page, right? To our YouTube video.
yeah, of course.
I-
We just have to riff until Saturday.
Yeah.
I think with an instantaneous launch time, it's either you go at 4:33 Eastern Daylight Time, or you go to the backup time Saturday. They won't delay.
Right. Because they
And
got
Bob and Doug. Imagine the anticlimax. I know they're obviously prepared for this, but Bob and Doug, how hyped and psyched would you have been for that moment?
I know the lead up,
Hmm.
the nerves. I mean,
Um,
but I don't know. But also as well, like not only the pressure of having to do it in the first place, but then also everyone's watching. Everyone was here watching. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really, it was really nice to see it all over the news here, all over sort of BBC covering it quite a lot as well. Daniel, what's your sense in America? Do you think the rest of us in the world care as much as we do?
I don't know that I don't get any sense of like how much the rest of the world cares, just because our media coverage is so US centric. You know what I mean? It takes like something really bad for me to hear about something happen. I mean, not me personally, but like the average American to hear about something happening elsewhere. But it feels like people really care about this today, and maybe I'm biased as a NASA fan. But you know, I mean, they've been paying like, what is it, like $20 million for 9 years for every ride on a Soyuz spacecraft, which is like crazy. It's like 70s technology, you know. It's like it's like unchanged, but it still works, so they still do it. So I've just been having so much fun like seeing the you know, some of the stuff you guys have been lucky and I've been lucky getting to go to NASA and see some of this stuff. Is like, this is what the future is, right? Where they're like, this is the Dragon capsule, or like, this is the Orion capsule, and they're working on it right now. So seeing that actually come to fruition today, and just seeing the spacesuits, and it's so like sci-fi. It feels like the future is happening.
So modern.
It feels like a real aesthetic shift as well with the Dragon capsule with their suits. There's a real kind of like sort of retro futuristic vibe to them.
Yeah. They stepped up.
Yeah, which makes it feel like we are perpetually fulfilling this sort of sci-fi future that we established in films. But
it feels like maybe that's one of the things that really shines about like the private public partnership here, is that like, you know, SpaceX is able to be like, well, guys, you know, one of the most important, like, private industry cares so much about how things look, and public stuff is like, not like, you can have the space shuttle be ugly, or like the suits on it be ugly, or everything inside of it looks archaic. And here, you know, someone else has paid attention to the details and been like, oh, and you know, everything's functional, but it also looks really amazing, because half of the game with this stuff is capturing the public's interest and imagination.
100%.
Because you know, it's tax dollars working, so people need to care and pay attention and be for it. So everything today is like good for piquing interest and keeping people engaged and saying, you know, let's go back to the moon, let's go beyond, because the steps to get there aren't always super interesting, right? Like this is essentially a test launch, right? But everyone's super excited today because there's people inside, which is amazing. But you know, they're docking and bringing the guys back, which is these unmanned Dragon capsules have been doing for a minute now.
Yeah.
Guys, my dad just messaged to let us know that apparently the space launch has been delayed.
It's been delayed. It's not happening.
No, Dad just saw it on the news and just he messaged, thank you, Dad.
That could not have come from like a better source.
Just in case everyone was wondering what was happening.
That's amazing.
If Elon's dreams come true and they are actually able to get to Mars, manned mission, would any of you go?
No. It takes it takes 2 years to get there.
Is it one way still? Because last time I heard people talking about this, it was like you go and then you just live there. What if you don't like it? Like, when I moved to Brighton, it could have been terrible here. It turns out it was okay. There's a beach. There isn't a beach on Mars. So what are you going to...
Beach is sort of...
Isn't the whole thing like a beach with no sea? It's just a big red beach.
True.
I don't even think about that. I think about the inevitable space war, because as you guys know, when people leave we'll say continent and set up on a new one, eventually the people on the one place feel a resentment for the rules coming from the other, right? So as soon as people show up on Mars and don't come back, we're 100 years or 200 years away from the first great space war.
When do you become a Martian? Like, if you officially live there, or you're born there?
I think if you're born there.
Okay. Imagine. Woody, would you go?
Being the first Martian.
I mean, I could do with a bit of time away from the kids, but maybe not that much.
Such a oh wow! Imagine
But it's-
such a
Get
drastic.
your drums tracked on Mars. Email me.
Exactly.
But it is mad that a big part of this as a test is is to see about space tourism, which is really not that far away.
Yeah.
In and of itself,
Also-
which is nuts. I mean, would you, if that was an option, if going to the space station was an option on a short trip, would you do it?
Yeah.
100%.
Isn't it still like it's still quite dangerous, like numbers wise?
Well,
Right.
Activity.
At the moment, but it's going to get safer. Like when they first did transatlantic flying for the public, that was pretty risky, and now it's probably safer than sitting in your house.
I'll
So
tell you
it's-
what. I'll wait it out.
Yeah,
the
go
numbers
like 20 years when it's easy.
Yeah.
Also, like, just consider like Bob and Doug, like previously, like they're like test pilots for fighter jets. They're essentially test pilots on like an intergalactic craft.
Yeah.
Well, that's what was really interesting when we were at NASA and we were chatting about the Apollo missions, and they used to have to like, I'm going to get all the details wrong because I don't have a memory and I'm not a scientist, but they used to have to literally detach one bit and just fly it round. And I was like, oh my God, they're like flying in space. And they were sort of just basically saying that's literally, especially back then when a lot of them were just pilots, so that was like their bread and butter that they just can zoom around, and it's incredible. Just I can't park is what I'm saying, and these people can
Yeah.
fly one end of the spaceship to the other.
I think one thing we're forgetting is like the extensive training you receive before going out. Like Woody, they wouldn't send you out tomorrow. You know, you got to pass some tests, dude.
I'll give it a go.
Woody used to drive a van; he'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just like a Luton van. I'll just reverse that right up.
Dan, what was your first? How did you first get in touch with NASA or them with you? And what was your first trip to NASA?
He
How did
sent
that
many begging letters.
Yeah. I went when I was a kid. We went on my grandparents lived in Florida, so we went to Florida and my dad took me. So I've been to the Florida one a couple times, and now through touring, I've been to Johnson Space Center a couple times too. And the first time I went there, I think was like 2014 or 15, and they showed us the mission control and like where they guided the Apollo missions from. Super awesome. My dad actually saw Apollo 9 launch
Wow.
from Cape Canaveral in Florida, which he told me this week, which must have been amazing. But I was like, oh, is that Apollo 8 was the first one that went around the moon. Apollo 11 is the first one that lands. So I'm like, man, what did 9 do? My dad's like, oh, they just went in space and did exactly what Will just described. They went up and detached from the lunar lander and then reconnected to it. And we're like, all right, it works. I'm like, okay, well, still cool to see. And I saw one of the shuttle missions take off when I was a kid from the beach in Florida, which was really crazy.
That's cool. Carl, you saw a launch, didn't you?
Yeah. So it was about 5 years ago. So, and I want to be clear as well. We all got invited, and only I went. So, who's the real spaceman, guys? The one without the NASA top, apparently.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yeah. To be fair, everyone was really chilled about it, and then and I was like, oh, I'm going to book my flights, and I'm going to go. And it was only when I came back and said, guys, I watched the launch, that everyone was so irritated by themselves for having not gone.
It's up there with one of my good decisions, I think, to not go. Also, I was
such a spoiled thing to say, but it was in the midst of having been away for like a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
It was our one window to go home and see people for like 2 days or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
at the time, it felt so important to go home in the context of life and experience, things we could have done and seen and said we could have been at. And also, every time I see the photos of you guys watching it, and every time I hear you tell that story about the tear that ran down your face just in time with the rocket flying up into
guys, it
kills me. It kills me.
It was they were testing the heat shields on the Orion capsule Orion will. Well, Orion's going to go to Mars, right? Like, is that that's Orion one?
I think Orion is the SLS system, right? I think that's like the NASA proper one, and then the Boeing one is the Starliner, I think.
Okay, I think that's.
I might have that not exactly right.
But yeah, basically they went up and they slingshotted it around the moon to basically just speed it up enough where it would match the speed coming back from Mars, and then just hope that the heat shields would hold out against the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh.
It did. And it landed, like, I always find it crazy when it landed in the sea in the exact location to the second they said it would. Like, it just, like, the precision, and I get it, you know, because, like, you know, you need to be that precise, you need to be that clever to be able to do what they're doing. But it was just, yeah, it was nuts. It was crazy.
I saw a thing yesterday that said that the heat generated from reentry can be as much as half as hot as the sun, which is like 50% of the sun.
That's too much. That's too much.
It's a lot of percents.
Yeah, that was incredible. And I mean, hopefully people will get the opportunity to go and watch these things again soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was such a different launch. I'm still kind of gobsmacked by like all the touchscreen insides. It's like a film. It was totally like a film watching them in there.
It is crazy. Like, it's really interesting. Like you were saying, Dan, there's obviously like a design element that there's never been, which I guess is from like Tesla and stuff. Which, like, but it's just really funny looking at now and then thinking back to like what the inside of space shuttles and the Soyuz look like. It's
you think about like,
oh, go on.
Why do we all have iPhones, right? Like, it wasn't the first phone that could do those things. Like, there's a reason. It's because we're like, oh, it looks cool. It's like easy to use. I get it, right? It's like sleek. We're not. None of us are loading custom Android ROMs onto our phones except for Woody, you know, which says something.
Oh, there you go.
That was me having just watched
Look
it.
at Dick.
Oh, and also as well, when we went, it was meant to launch on that first day, and it didn't because some guy on like a little fishing boat had rowed into the like broken the perimeter, and so they had to cancel. But by this time, they'd already began fueling, and because they couldn't light the fuel, it had frozen some of the parts inside, so they had to reset for the next day. And
strikes again, mate.
And that was it. That was me watched it, and it was very early, which is why I look like that.
Why couldn't you have worn that hoodie today?
It's so hot here. Is it not hot where you are?
It is. I'm just, representing.
No, I know you're right.
He's being called by the giant fanning American flag.
The only NASA clothes that I have is that massive like bomber jacket, and I put it on for literally about 12 seconds and had heat stroke. So instead, I've got on a Star Wars, I think, because I've never seen Star Wars.
You love Star Trek, mate.
That's awesome.
I'm glad that you used this appropriately.
Armbruster, so through this week, we were picking our favorite space films, and then on Instagram we were telling everyone what our favorite space films were. We realized we haven't prepped you for this, but each of us picked like a top three.
Okay.
Did any jump to mind for you?
I watched Interstellar this week, which is amazing. So good. And 2001: A Space Odyssey, obviously. I have to say I'm not like a huge movie guy, so picking a third space movie is like I don't really have one offhand. Moonraker, James Bond.
Oh,
in
wow.
Moonraker. Yeah,
You're playing for the British crowd. We like it. We like it.
Yeah. Because what a ridiculous thing to be like. Well, where hasn't he gone before? And then he's like inside the space shuttle. It's pretty awesome.
Will is absolutely fuming right now because he wished that he thought.
I didn't think of that.
You didn't? Are you a huge Bond guy?
Yeah, I mean, more a Daniel Craig Zabs guy, but
okay,
in the world of Bond. So, you're an American, so you probably don't know about Have you ever heard of a thing called Red Dwarf? It's a TV show we have in the UK.
Oh,
No.
Basically, it's a comedy set in space in the future, and the ship's cat has turned into the coolest guy ever through the process of evolution, and it's amazing. But when we're doing our space film choice, this is more to the English guys, not you, sorry, Dan. They should do a feature-length film of Red Dwarf and putting that out there into the universe.
No,
Literally.
not to burst your bubble, but I think they just did a Red Dwarf like car insurance advert or something, or like.
Oh, that's
Coming
perfect.
back.
You just
It's
watched
coming
that.
back.
Will.
All the more reason that they should get them some work doing a film. So adverts.
I would love that.
sold out. Look, here's us recently.
In training.
Yes.
That was the
I
day
think
that-
I'm sleeping during this one.
That was the day that you said, yeah, you weren't up for coming. Oh, jumping back a few years now to our first trip.
Oh yeah. Wow. That was a fun time, guys.
Yeah, you can see we're really enjoying posing in that situation.
Yeah. Quick, get it over and done with, and let's move on. Do you
What's
remember
in
the
the bag,
time?
Miles? I like that you walked around NASA with just a plastic bag of junk.
What plastic bag? I can't see it. It's too small.
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh, really?
I got a
Wait,
plastic.
are,
Wait,
you,
no, but you don't have
are
to
we
show
still,
it.
are we still on the same photo, or is it?
It's the same one. It's the same one of us.
In my on my computer. I'm flicking through loads.
Oh no, I can't see it.
That's all right. Wait. It's coming up now.
It doesn't have to be like, you know.
That work. Is it the same photo again?
It's no. It's just
Loading.
It's just a black. It's a black loading screen, and now it's.
Oh, there it is.
What is in there?
That's your lunch, isn't it?
It's like souvenirs. I see a NASA meatball in there.
It's yes. It's all my souvenirs, guys.
That's your mug.
Which is what you should do if you go to NASA.
This is unrelated to space, but I have an ex-girlfriend who used to take a gym kit to school in a plastic bag, and one day she got to gym and opened it, and it was the bin, and her mum had taken like the rubbish bin out and just put it on the side, and she picked it up, and she just opened it, and there was just the rubbish, which has nothing to do with space, but it's my favorite story of anyone I've ever known.
What's a gym kit?
PE kit, physical ed kit.
Oh, okay.
Said
So
gym
like
kit, you American.
like shoes and gym shorts and a shirt.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah. normally.
Oh, and a vest.
That's a lovely photo. Who took that?
By the way, when I earlier was saying how awkwardly we were posing, this was what I was referring to.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even recognize you.
Holy shit! I just thought that was Charlie.
Yeah,
Wow, I did not know you then.
why do I look like that?
I don't know. It's a weird one.
That is
All
weird.
of you. Will looks the
Let's
same.
take it down, right?
Yeah, sure.
Also, that was like fun periods when Dan just had a mohawk.
Yeah. I mean, look at me now. I've got two-tone hair. It's just a terrible time. May the global pandemic end.
Yeah, because Dan just went full Super Saiyan, and I love it. So, what I was going to say was, do you remember when we went and we each held a bit of the moon?
Moonrock, yeah.
When we went, we had to go and get fully in the gear, like all whites and gloves and masks, and then we walked into this little room, got cleaned by special air, then went in and we got to like handle all this stuff. It was
Oh my god.
it was crazy. There's a picture somewhere, I don't know where it's going to be, of like I'm holding it.
I mean, I've exhausted my multimedia skills. I've got
Yeah,
too
no,
many
Dan,
tabs.
you can't pick pictures anymore.
Wait, was that in Houston or in Florida?
Yes. I don't know America that well, so I just go to America and go and do fun things there.
It's just one thing.
Right, hang on. I've got to try and find the picture because we're in stupid little hats and goggles, and then we've got these a little bag of moon rocks.
Oh, that's so awesome. They don't care about me apparently.
While Carl finds that, so we're doing film club on Friday, and it's space themes. We timed it on Friday because we thought it would be really great as a preamble to the launch on Saturday that we knew was definitely going to get postponed. Yeah, and we've tried to do the films in different categories because choosing space as a genre is impossible because there are so many very diverse film genres that are within that. So we did Earth, the Moon, planets, and then we did like a sci-fi round as well. We tried to take into everything from the Apollo 11 documentary to Wall-E to Alien to Moon to Interstellar.
All
I was
good
really
picks.
hesitant to pick Gravity, just 'cause I remember us getting
Yeah,
told off. Not told off,
gravity's
but-
in.
Yeah, some NASA personnel were less than happy with the accuracy of the scientific aspect.
I
Yeah.
think I watched that on a plane, which is like the only thing about the movie is the visual, and then I'm watching it on like a 3-inch screen.
And how
Yeah.
was it? It sounds like you loved it.
I don't remember anything about it.
Also, you already told us you don't like films, so the,
There's that. It's not that I don't like them. It's hard for me to commit to something for 3 hours because I always feel like I should be writing a song. Like it's really hard to sit down for 3 hours.
you
You
know,
know?
it's like my problem is I just work too hard.
I care too much is my problem. Yeah, it's like, so TV shows are easier for me because I can just watch them 20 minutes at a time, and I'm only committing to a little bit of time waste versus like the whole thing. But I know some people watch movies in chunks. I just like, I don't know. I don't do that.
Fair enough.
Red Dwarf. Check out Red Dwarf.
Oh,
Do it. It's
See, I
so
I
good.
also can't watch British TV because one time someone told me to watch the IT Crowd, which I think is famous, right?
I've never seen it.
Don't.
Oh, okay.
What are you
It was
talking about?
horrendous.
Absolutely horrific.
Excuse
Yeah.
you.
guys, I've got some more incoming multimedia. Don't get too excited.
Wait. Oh God.
Also, Bo, our manager, is watching, and he keeps saying, "Feel free to wrap up." clearly, this is going very well.
I feel like this is like the only interesting type of content you could do during a pandemic is like people just shooting the shit like they normally would, and then if people want to tune in and watch, they can, right? I feel like that's more fun for people than like some like staged thing. I don't know.
It's quite voyeuristic.
Guys,
Yeah.
So the photos that I've got coming up, and thanks so much to Erica for sending these in, are quite spectacular.
No, they're
If you-
not. Right. Okay, let's finish up, guys. See you guys next week. See you on Saturday. We'll all be there.
Why? Yeah, Carl, are there ones of I could just that they just look like photos of me as a chef? Where,
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Look, there's another one there. Look. There we go.
Wait, is that another come through? Okay, perfect. There you go.
Your hat is so much better than my hat. Put the hats on. Put the picture of our hats on.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Let me see if this works.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
screen, boy.
I'm trying to. Well, we
Okay.
can go through. Okay, I'm starting with you.
Look, this is me holding a bit of moon rock.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's a moon rock.
It
Wait,
is
but
pretty
Dan,
Yeah.
Dan, but Dan, but now show the one with you and your hat.
Just you wait. Wait.
Come on. Where? Why was your hat so much better than mine?
And where are your
Better.
gloves?
Oh yeah.
Did you think? Was that back in the time? Was that back in the day where I had like a quiff? Do you think they gave me a custom quiff hat?
That's like a glimpse into life where the band didn't work and you're like working in food service is what that is to me. That's a parallel dimension.
It really is quite spectacular.
So
There's
good.
This was quite cool. Sorry, one sec. Let me just find this here. Speaking of Charlie Barnes,
Look.
this was the container that had this built-in gloves that you yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, one of the ones you shove your hand through and then you have the glove. You can fiddle around with the rocks and pull them back out.
Yeah, this was the
That's
we don't
awesome.
trust you. We don't trust you at all. So stay behind the enormously perspex glass and use the incredibly thick rubber gloves.
Would anyone like a fun fact? Because I've got many fun facts.
You'd love a fun
Yeah.
fact.
did you know that Bob and Doug, the astronauts on the mission, are both married to astronauts?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. They're like, talk about power couples. They're like better than Kanye and
The other
his
one.
Go on. Oh, go on. You say it.
wife. Kim,
That one. Keith.
Keith and Kanye.
Yeah. Imagine just like, talk over breakfast would be the most insane level of like science you could imagine. Like how casually they could talk about that stuff. Oh, that's lovely. That.
I love. This is the most Woody thing in the world. There's Woody and NASA in a kind of protective suit, and all you can see is the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo shining through the.
Oh,
They
good.
tried to leave me behind, but I escaped.
So, guys, same time Saturday, except not the same
Yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, because before with a space launch, we could just about hold it together, and people might want to tune in. Now it's just us.
Yeah, there's no. There was supposed to be something happening alongside we were supposed to provide commentary, and it says 3:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Saturday will be the next attempt.
Literally, just
Coverage
a month.
begins at 11 a.m.
Okay.
I had notes and our printer broke. So there's a fun fact for you. So that hence why this is quite as slick as it usually is. But anyone who doesn't like real space launches and wants to tune into our film club, join on Friday night. But yeah, so we will see you same time, same place, not same time or same place.
All
But
the same place.
Zoom question mark.
All right, guys, have a great night and enjoy thinking about space stuff.
Great to see you all.
Stay safe. Nice to see everybody.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, so good, guys. Yeah, we'll speak soon.
Miss you all.
Bye.